Hey, what it do, sports world, and welcome to the Real Untouchable podcast with me, Ray Diggs. I got a great segment for you all. I want to talk about, Nick Saban, all right? The GOAT has finally walked away, man. I know this right here been, he announced his retirement early in the week, and I'm just not finally getting around to it. I had to basically process all this right here. A lot of people that know me know that Nick Saban was one of my favorite coaches in college football, football, period. And just to watch him walk away, it hurt. I ain't gonna even lie, man. It hurt me. Um, to see that this man, still a great hell of a coach right now, to just walk away. And I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I just think that coaching. I think the coaching got. I'm gonna talk a little bit more about it on what I think happened when it came to Nick Saban. But hey, before I get started, hey, make sure y'all hit the like button, the subscribe button, and the share button. Also, make sure you all give me your comment in this comment section and let me know what you all think about this segment. All right, but like I said, Nick Saban hangs it up after 51 years of coaching, 7 national championships. Man, this right here has been a hell of a ride. Nick Saban came to the Alabama Crimson Tide, and then when he first got to the Tide in 2007, they were 7-6. Ever since then, this man has not lost more than 3 games in a season. Okay, and that just tell you what type of head coach this was. He won 7 national championships, 6 at the University of Alabama and 1 at LSU. And if y'all remember, the last national championship that LSU won, well, the one that Les Miles won, that was actually Nick Saban's last recruiting class. You can go out and go back and look that up. So honestly, this man right here could have easily won 8 national championships. When we talk about Nick Saban is going to go down as the greatest college football coach in the history of college football. He ended his career with 287 wins, only 71 losses. This man right here at the University of Alabama, he had 206 wins, only 29 losses. This just tells you how great this coach was. And like I said, all the All-American, 45 All-Americans, pretty much all the Heisman Trophy, 4 Heisman Trophy winners, could have easily been another Heisman Trophy candidate winner next season with Jalen Milroe. This just tells you how great Nick Saban has been in his career at the University of Alabama. In his first year, like I said, in 2007, they was 7-6. The next season, they was 12-2. Then the next season, they win the national championship. That just tells you how quick he turns around. He turned around this team. Now, Nick Saban have a lot of options. I honestly feel like he's going to go on game day. He's been written, man. Nick Saban, a lot of people don't know. Nick Saban is a hell of a talker. He's one of those. He's a commentator that knows the game. So I think that if they add him on college game day, I think that right there will be definitely a win for college game day. Just having Nick Saban on college game day every day. But everybody keeps saying, why Nick Saban retired. I honestly feel that him and Miss Terry took some time at their beach house down there in Florida. And I think that it was the perfect time for him to walk away now. And the reason why I say that is because if you think about it, after 51 years of coaching, 17 at the University of Alabama, the everyday grind. Think about, now I'm gonna explain to you all Nick Saban's schedule. Now, I know a little bit about his schedule. When, say like the Alabama, when they go to college football playoffs, right? So when they play the SEC championship game, right after the SEC championship game, the Nick Saban goes straight to recruiting. So he goes to recruiting all the way up until they start practicing for the college football playoff or whatever bowl they're in. So, he don't have off days. And then he goes straight from recruiting to bowl practice, straight back to recruiting. And I think that it was just an everyday grind and for a 72-year-old man. A lot of people, they saying, "Oh man, Nick Saban still had a lot." Yes, he still had a lot. He still can coach. He can still coach at the highest level and win national championships. His next year's team probably is one of the top three teams where they was one of the top three teams in college football. And for him to walk away, that just tells you that he's happy with where he's at. He don't care about the Bear Bryant's coaching record. He doesn't care about being, winning 8 national championships. I think that this right here was the perfect time for him to walk away and be a family man. Miss Terry, I know she's happy that he can finally, spend time at home now. And the stress, the everyday stress, like I'm in the military, okay? And I always tell people this, is that at 20 years, 21 max, I want to walk away. And I'm going to be happy with everything that I did. I think that sometimes people overstay their welcome. And that's one thing that I feel like Nick Saban didn't want to do. He was able to walk off at on his own term. Okay, they didn't fire him. He walked off when he walked off, and guess what? He rolled out into the sunset, and now he can begin his second career. And that's the same thing I always tell people when it comes to myself. When my time is up, I want to start my second career. I want to be free. I want to, not have wake up every morning and have to go run 2 or 3, 4 miles, 2, 4, 5, 6 miles. I can, be like a Nick Saban. Now he can wake up whatever time, which he'll probably have the same routine. He's gonna still have a little bit of say so in the University of Alabama. As you all know, they saying that he's gonna have a office in the University of Alabama at Mel Moore Auditorium. So I think that he'll still have a little bit of say so, but I think Nick Saban is going to take a back seat. I think if the players need him, he will come. He'll probably talk to him, but I don't think he's going to overstep the new head coach. I think that he's pretty much going to sit back and he's going to pretty much enjoy retirement. I think that, like I said, the everyday grind of being the University of Alabama head coach took a toll on him. Going out there recruiting and doing all these things, winning all these games, I just feel like it took a toll on Nick Saban. And like I said, I'm happy that he's retiring because he deserves it. He deserves to go out now. He went out. No, they didn't win the national championship, but the team that they lost to beat the bricks off the team that won the national championship. I mean, that was in the national championship with them. So that tells you how good this Alabama team was. And it tells you how this Alabama team could have easily been in the national championship. And honestly, if they make it there, they may most likely win the national championship. So that just tells you how Nick Saban wanted to go out. He didn't care. He went out on his own terms. Nobody forced him out. He wasn't fired or nothing. He went out when he went out. And like I said, he's had a hell of a career. 51 years of coaching, 17 at the University of Alabama, 7 national championships, 1 at LSU, 6 at Alabama. So that just tells you how he changed this program. He turned Alabama into a national powerhouse. And I saw what Reggie Bush said. Reggie Bush, basically speaking stupidity, said that Nick Saban pretty much couldn't recruit anymore. He couldn't control the recruits anymore. Reggie Bush, do your homework. First of all, Nick Saban still was getting the top 2 recruiting classes. The only team that was really going head to head was Georgia. And honestly, he was still getting, this season they had the number 2 recruiting class. The last 2 or 3 years, I think 1 year Texas A&M had it. But before that, Alabama was still getting number 1 recruiting classes, even with the NIL. Now, I would say this right here. One thing I will say, I think that Nick Saban was tired how the NIL was working, but he said this right here, even at the beginning of NIL, he said this. He said that this right here, this thing is wide open and it's going to come back to hunt the NCAA, and it is. The transfer portal, the NIL, is coming back to hunt the college football. After a while, it's going to be a big business and nobody really going to care about college football. A lot of people love college football like myself. I love college more than I like the NFL. And that's what I said. And that's what the thing that I said about Nick Saban. Nick Saban is pretty much tired of, the everyday grind of you have to recruit. Now you have to pretty much pay a player. You can't sell playing for Nick Saban now. You got to sell. I can give you $200,000, and now players want to come play. And I'm not mad at them, but you don't have to pay me a dime to come play for Coach Nick Saban, because I pretty much know on the back end that with him and with my hard work, that it's going to pay off. And that's what I think a lot of players, understand that. You got a lot of players that's leaving Alabama right now, like the Isaiah Bond. But I'm gonna say this right here about Isaiah Bond. Honestly, I think Isaiah Bond didn't want to be at Alabama anyway. So when Nick Saban left, that was the number one. That was the first thing he ran to was Texas. Because Texas, they offered him the money, Steve Sarkisian. So honestly, I think a lot of players that's leaving Alabama didn't want to be at Alabama anyway. It's an everyday grind of playing at the University of Alabama. But I will say this, like I said, Nick Saban pretty much is Alabama head coach Nick Saban retires after 51 years of coaching, 7 national championships, 11 SEC championships. Man, this man right here won the SEC championship this season after losing in week 2 to Texas. This right here was probably, he said it in his press conference, this right here was probably one of the hardest jobs that he had this season because it took a lot out of him. Because this right here was supposed to be a rebuilding year. When you lose the number 1 and the number 3 pick, you shouldn't make it to the college football playoff your next season. And that is what the University of Alabama did. That is the reason why I say Nick Saban, he still is probably the greatest coach even right now. And the coaches, I'm pretty sure a lot of coaches are happy that he's gone. The Georgias, the Ohio States, all those guys, Texas, they're happy that he's gone because now they don't have to recruit against him. Because I'm going to say this right here before I go. Nick Saban was the only coach really that can go inside of LSU and go inside of Louisiana and steal their number 1 player. He can come to Arkansas. He can go to Florida and Georgia and steal their number 1 players, their number 2 players. He was the one coach that could do it. Now, can the new Alabama coach do it? I don't think so. But I think that one thing that he needs to do is this. He needs to go and he needs to speak to Nick Saban and they asked him, how do I get the pipeline like you got? And I think Nick Saban, I pretty much tell him how he did it because I want to know. I can't wait for they do a 30 for 30 for Nick Saban because I want to understand how did he do this? How did you go inside of Florida and get that number 1 recruit? The Georgias, the Virginias, the Tennessee, the Mississippi, the Texas, the Louisiana. How did you go inside there and get these top players? Man, I can't wait till his 30 for 30 come out. The GOAT, like I said, the GOAT, Nick Saban, Alabama head coach Nick Saban has hung it up after 51 years. Hey, man, thank y'all again for listening to another great segment of the Real Untouchable Podcast with me, Ray Diggs. And until next time, hey, make sure y'all hit the like button, the subscribe button, and also the share button. And hey, make sure y'all give me your comment in the comment section. And like I said before, the GOAT, Alabama head coach Nick Saban has hung it up after 51 years of coaching. 7 national championships, 11 SEC championships. Man, it's nothing else that man can do. And like I said, Coach Saban, thank you for everything that you pretty much showed us how a head coach can come to the University of Alabama, and change how you changed and how quick you changed it. That's just, it's astounding. That's a hell of a job. And I don't think anybody's going to ever be able to do that. Maybe Kirby Smart is the only one that's going to be close to even doing something that Nick Saban did. But hey, thank y'all again for listening to another great segment. And until next time, y'all peace and have a great week. Make sure y'all be safe out there, y'all. Peace.